Hello everyone, my name is Fonze, this is Yakimade. I post DIY woodworking projects on here every week. Today we're making a rolling milk crate storage shelf out of plywood. Alright, let's get started. For this design, I wanted to contrast the colorful milk crates with light colored plywood. First, I'm cutting my 3/4 inch plywood into 13-inch strips, which is the width and depth of my milk crates. You could also have Home Depot cut these down for you if you want to skip this step. I'm also cutting a 45-degree miter cut at each end so I can assemble all sides together with the glue up in a box formation. These milk crates from Home Depot are 13 inches deep, 13 inches wide, and 11 inches high. So for the shelf pieces, I'm cutting each side long enough to fit the 4 crates as well as the plywood shelves in the middle. Taping the outside or flat side of each panel helps to keep the panels together, squeezing everything tight and reinforcing the strength of the shelf. So you just add your glue and brad nails. It's sort of like wrapping a present. I use my speed square to keep checking for square along the way, using brad nails and glue to keep the structure together. I then used a pipe clamp to hold all sides tight within itself while the glue dried. To fill in any gaps where the panels came together, I made a mixture of Gorilla wood glue and fine sawdust, which I just collect from every project. You could also just buy wood filler, but this stuff seems to look the most like actual wood when it dries. For my inside shelves, I'm using 1/2-inch plywood. I assembled my 4 crates inside and also used a scrap piece of 1/2-inch plywood to figure out where my inside shelves are going and making sure I have enough room for everything. I then took my inside height and width and proceeded to cut my 1/2-inch inside shelf pieces, making sure they're the same 13-inch width as the entire shelf. Once those were cut, I made my marks halfway into each piece where I needed to remove material for the shelves. Once those were cut, I made my marks halfway into each piece where I needed to remove material for the shelves to interlock into a sort of half-lap joint. I needed to remove 6.5-inch long strips about 1/2 inch wide so my shelves would interlock together into an X and be the same width when combined. After a dry run with my crates and shelves in place, I then ran a bead of wood glue along all contact ends of the inner shelf. I put into place and tacked in a couple of 1/2-inch brad nails to hold into place. I then clamped each side again to hold while the glue dried for a few hours. While that was drying, I could work on spray painting the milk crates. For the paint, I went with Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 Paint Plus Primer. This stuff was pretty awesome and doesn't require priming since it's already in the mixture. That made this part of the project fly by and the paint went super far. I ended up using about 1/2 a can per crate. I did a couple of coats each and let them dry. For the rolling casters, I went with these 2-inch casters from Home Depot and installed on the bottom of the shelf, making sure to pre-drill the holes and using shorter screws than the 3/4 inch plywood. At this point, the shelf is ready to be sealed, and I decided to go with Varathane's triple thick polyurethane spray. Just a couple of coats added a nice shine to the plywood. And after all that, the project was finally finished. This storage shelf idea has been kicking around in my head for some time, so it's great to finally build it. You could absolutely change this design up, adding more storage spaces and increasing the amount of colored crates and choosing your own color profile. You could also make one cubby have multiple shelves within it and really customize to whatever you need. That's it for this project. If you have any suggestions or ideas, sound off in the comments and let me know what you think. Also make sure to like this video and subscribe. Help share this channel with your friends and family and let's build this thing together. You can also keep up with me on Instagram at Yakimade_, where I'm posting updates on the current project I'm working on. Alright, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching.